All right. You have to know how to play your cards right when it comes to anything and everything. There's no one right answer, and you have to know how to be adaptive. Now, what do I mean by this? All right. Very, very simple things. Pretend like every single situation that's important in life is like a game of poker. You don't do the same thing over and over and over again. In poker, you have to front, you have to act. You have to act like you have a card when you don't. You have to act like you don't have a card when you do have a card. I always say this when it comes to certain situations, even like with my friends or something. Mind you, don't mind my eyes. I got a big ass light right there. It's early in the morning. My eyes are not used to this right now, but whatever. Now, any single situation, you have to know different outcomes, different situations. There's no one right answer. That's why sometimes that very specific advice you're looking for is not going to help you. For example, you're like, okay, what do I do for business? Someone might tell you, all right, do this, 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 and this, but that might not fit your lifestyle. That might not fit your hobbies. That might not fit your interests. So there's no one right answer. Someone be like, okay, how do I start going? What do I do in the gym, right? Somebody might be like, okay, do the bro split, do this, do that. But no, there's no one right answer. It depends on what you like, how it fits your lifestyle, and if you can stick to it. Now, when it comes to the whole cards aspect, it's this very simple thing, okay? Any situation you're in, maybe you got in a fight with your boss, all right? Maybe you got in an argument with your boss. All right, I want you to be very logical. Pretend like you have a deck of cards. Be like, what card am I going to pull? Am I going to keep yelling at him? Am I just going to just stop talking? Am I just going to just continue working? There's different cards for different situations. You can't just keep pulling the same card over and over and over again because that's how you get destroyed. In any situation, just be more logical. Look at the options you have. That's basically what I'm saying at the end of the day is look at the options that you have. There's no one answer for anything. All right, say you want to go to the gym, pull out your deck of cards. Okay, what do you like to do? How often can you go? What don't you like to do? All right, there's going to be certain machines in there that I like that you don't like, vice versa. Now, when it comes to certain other lifestyle choices, for example, like starting a business. Starting a business is not for everyone and it shouldn't be for everyone. Why? Because you have your own business, it doesn't come with the things that people expect it to come with. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Is for example, say you want to start a business, pull out your cards, boom, 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 boom. What's your options? What can you do? What can you stick with? Okay, I can do this, 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 and this. What I can stick with is probably something you can't stick with, vice versa. I can make videos, I can grow my YouTube because I have the very specific time for it. Maybe since you work more hours, maybe you don't have the time for it. Maybe for you, your business is a long-term business that you work on side by side by side. Versus me, I can have more time in it. You feel me? Like there's different cards for different situationships. I call it situationships. All right. And now, say it comes to even relationships. It's actually a big, 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 big factor when it comes to relationships. Say you're talking to a girl or some shit. Argument happens. Pull out your cards. All right. Do I keep talking to her? Do I stop talking to her? Do I block her? All right. It's just like a game. It's just like a game of life. Because then it becomes more clear what you want to do. Then it becomes more easy to pick the option. Okay, if I block her, she's gonna act like this probably. If I stop talking to her, she's gonna act like this. Okay, if I do this, okay, what's the more better option? Okay, maybe I just don't. Maybe I ignore her for a day. Pull out that card. Boom. Instead of just not thinking and just doing things. When you do things, that's how you get destroyed. When you're just doing things with no consciousness, you're just like yelling at people, just not working, just living life without using your brain. That's where you get lost. That's why I noticed. That's how like you get lost. That's how you start doing dumb shit. Like that's the only way I can explain. When you start doing things, you just fuck up. All right, start pulling out your cards. It's a game of deck. It's a game of life. This is a real game of life. All right, when it comes to even like interviews, pull out your deck of cards. All right, be like, okay, when I go in, should I act like this? Should I do this? Okay, should I keep practicing more of this? No, I mean, it's very, very simple. You got to realize you have options in life, and you have to pick the right one. Now, you don't always have to be right because you won't always be right on the option, but remember that you have options. It's like literally a game. When you're playing GTA, there's a story mode mission. It gives you 3 different options on what to do. Just like life. Because different options, most of the time, equal different endings and different, what's the word I'm looking for, man? Different, I'm gonna say this one more time. Different options equals different situations, basically. And you know this. But this whole video, the whole point of it, is I want you to start to realize the options you have. And don't just be making decisions hella fast. Just like doing this and doing that and just like fucking curving all around. Just calm down. Pull out the cards. See what works. Pick that card. And then move on. It's really not that hard. It's actually very simple, but it's very effective. You know, when you're just doing decisions without thinking, like how many times have you just walked around your house, just, you know, just wanderlessly, just like, and then you realize you're just doing dumb shit. Like for example, like you just be walking in the kitchen, you might just like not notice something so clear in front of you, you might hit your head against it, or like might like drop a glass without looking. You might just doing things. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, you get in a mood where you're just like dropping things without, like, that's just you moving unconsciously. Unconsciously. Now, imagine all this little dumb shit you're doing, but you're doing it in other situations without realizing. Now you're not paying attention when you're going in the kitchen, you're dropping things, hitting your head and shit, slipping on the floor on the ice that you're kicking under the fridge. Now, imagine all the times that you're doing this in different situations. Like, for example, maybe you're at work and you're you're just zoning out, not using your head. You're just doing things. You start fucking up with customers, boss getting mad at you, everyone getting mad at you. You're just not in the right headspace because you're not pulling out your cards. What's the cards when it comes to work? All right, pay attention, don't pay attention, act like I'm working, or do I work? Pick a card and stick to it, because when you act like you're working or when you are working, you have to actually stick to it. Because if you're trying to act like you're not working, my bad. When you act like you are working, but you're not, if you're just wanderlessly doing that, now I'm not promoting this, but I'm just saying, if you're just wanderless doing that, you're gonna get caught. But if you actually try to not work and act like you are working, when the time comes, you're gonna be more head on. I'm just giving facts and examples. Everyone has done this before, so don't look at me like I'm saying stupid shit. Now, I don't condone that. I'm gonna move on to the next chapter. Remember, most of the time, you have many options on what to do. Like my videos, I say the same thing over and over again. Because I'm putting in your head, all because you're hearing 1 time, 2 times, 3 times doesn't mean you're gonna understand. You have options. Pick an option. Pull out the deck of cards and just see. And you can do this very fast. It's not like someone asks you a question, you're gonna be like, oh, hold on, let me pull out my deck of cards. And no. It's gonna happen very fast. Someone be like, hey, bro, where you want to go eat? Or, hey, bro, you trying to go out this Friday? In your head, you're like, oh, should I go out? Should I not? I don't feel like it. Nah, maybe if I go out, do this. If I don't go out, this happens. Nah, I'm probably gonna stay in. Boom. It's very simple. Instead of being like, hey, bro, you trying to go out? Yeah, I'm trying to go out. And then, like, 20 minutes later, you're like, man, I'm not trying to go out, man. What the fuck? Why'd I say yeah? Exactly. Now you're doing some stupid shit. That's what happens. You have options. Play your cards accordingly and start winning more. The better decisions you make in life, eventually the better outcomes. Back to my other video, the law of large numbers. If you keep making the right decisions over again, over a long period of time, you will win and you will be where you want to be in life. I promise you that. And I will be the example of what I'm talking about. Just give me another year and you'll see.